But Mia, we might just have to deal with it as it is.
Yeah, I try to talk as clear as possible.
Okay. It looks like we have another person. Denise.
Yes.
Well, I think we have another attendant.
Another what?
Another person waiting in the waiting room.
Nope, it's just Mr. Jennings.
Oh, that's the attendee. Okay. Okay.
We are now live on Facebook. Okay, we're gonna start in about 4 minutes.
Are we live on Facebook?
Yes.
I don't see it. Live on Facebook. I don't see it. There we go.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna start in a little bit, y'all. Everybody on Facebook Live. We're starting at exactly 3 o'clock.
Oh crap.
Hmm?
Rodney trying to get in. Okay.
Okay, still waiting on Rodney.
Yes,
What?
he's coming. He's logging on now.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, so it's 3 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and start.
I think Rodney's in there.
Not yet.
Okay.
All right. Well, hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us again today. It's Tuesday. That means it's the webinar Tuesday at 3 o'clock. We have a weekly webinar of the state of your business every week with the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber. My name is Denise. I am the Membership Service Director of the Chamber. So thank you so much. So a quick few updates from the Chamber before we get started. Our monthly Chamber newsletter just got was sent out today. So make sure that you're subscribed to our mailing list and you're getting these newsletters where we put out one every month, and we also do try to do an updated one like every few weeks. So in between time, to make sure that all of y'all are receiving the resources that are being put out there, as well as keeping informed what's happening in the community. So make sure to do that, as well as follow us on all social media. We are on Zoom right now for these webinars, but they're always on Facebook Live. If you cannot make it to these webinars, they stay on our Facebook. However, we just launched our YouTube channel. It's called FWMBCC Media. So check us out. All of our weekly webinars are posted on there, as well as when we're continuing doing our Chamber Day at MLCC, or Minority Leadership Citizens Council. So check us out. Go subscribe to our channel. And if you're not a member of the Chamber, make sure to join the Chamber and make sure that you're, let us help you flourish your business, basically. So if you have any questions about membership, make sure to contact me. My email is D, and my last name is B as in boy, A, B as in boy, ICHE at FWMBCC.org. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and present our business highlights for the day. So as many of you know, every week we do allow a couple of our businesses in the community to come and highlight and feature their business. If you are interested in that, make sure to fill out the form to be able to be featured on one of our webinars. So we're going to start with Felicia Jeffries. She'll tell you about her business.
Hey everybody, this is Felicia Jeffries. Thank you all for having me on today. I really appreciate that. I am the owner of More Financial Services. We are a business consulting firm. We specialize in building business credit.
I'm trying to put you as the spotlight video and it won't let me. Give me 1 second. It's not allowing me to put you as the full thing. Oh, it's because your video is not on. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so it's just going to be 4 of us on here then, as you speak.
So I'm the owner of More Financial Services, and we specialize in building business credit. We also are helping a lot of business owners with the EIDL process because it's a bit difficult for some people to maneuver. A lot of people have been denied, so we are helping with the appeals process. I'm going to share my screen and show you all our website. Can you all see that?
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, so our website, we have 2 websites. The first website is morefinancialservices.net that tells about our company. The second website is bizcreditmovement.net that tells about the movement. And we started a movement back in 2016 to help business owners build their business credit. we have a membership program available for those who qualify. Now I'll show you all this. There are 3 membership levels: the silver, the gold, and the platinum. The silver level is for more established businesses who want to build their business credit. You receive free consulting every month. The gold level is for those who are midway in business, not quite sure where they're at, and need more assistance. The platinum level is more for new businesses. It's a yearly membership fee and it comes with all sorts of benefits. So if it's a new business, we'll provide the filing with the Secretary of State. We'll assist with your website. We'll assist with your business plan. All sorts of benefits. We ask you to contact us first before signing up. Right now, we're in the process of mainly helping business owners maneuver through the pandemic. And if you want assistance with that, we'll definitely help. This is our contact information, our phone number, and our website. We have 2 offices. One is in Dallas, uptown, and our second office is located in Fort Worth, downtown. That's all for me, y'all.
Thank you, Felicia, for that great information.
You're welcome.
And I know you're not feeling well today, but we want to thank you for hopping on and sharing that with us. So we definitely hope you feel better.
Thank you. I'm not going to stay on the whole call.
That's okay.
I appreciate y'all so much. And I hope everybody succeeds during this pandemic. We all make it if we pull together.
Thank you, Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
Thank you so much, Felicia. We're gonna move on to our next highlight. We have Mia. She's the owner of Black Coffee, here to speak. Here you go. Put you on and tell us all about your business, Mia.
Hey, I am the owner of Black Coffee, and just wanted to give you guys some information about our coffee shop that is located at 1417 Vaughn Boulevard. Currently, our hours are Wednesday through Sunday, 8 to 3. And of course, that will change hopefully once everything has gone back to normal, if that is a thing in the future. We'll be able to open up more, but we do also have a website here where you're able to order online, and you can order drinks. We have pastries, breakfast tacos that you can order from. It's really easy to order. And you can pick up curbside. We have a yellow door where you can pick up. Right now, we do have seating available inside. We're at 50% capacity. So we do have limited seating, but it is available for you. We also have a website where you can just literally purchase coffee and We have mugs, we have t-shirts, single origin coffees. Daryl loves our East Sider and he loves to give us a hard time when we don't have it on drip. But that is one of our most popular. But again, we have mugs and different things that you can purchase. So again, just give us a try. Again, we're open tomorrow through Sunday, 8 to 3. And we would love to see you guys come in and grab a cup of coffee. Also, June 17th, we are giving a discount for those that come in with their voting sticker because we are encouraging everyone to vote. So after you vote, please come in, grab some coffee with us.
You'll have the East Side ready?
I'm sure we will. We need a heads up from you though.
Okay.
That's all awesome.
But thank you guys. I appreciate being on here.
For sure. That all looks so delicious.
Thanks.
For sure. Make sure to go and support Black coffee, African American owned business. So go out and get your coffee, y'all. Thank you, Mia.
Thank you.
All right, so that is all for our highlights of the day. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to my coworker, Daryl Brewer.
Hello, Denise. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining in to our webinar on our Tuesday weekly webinar. And we're going to get to our economic development portion here. And just want to update you, if you have filled out the money that the city is giving away from the federal government, I just want you to know that some of that money is being released already, has been released already. Some of you may have already received an email that says, hey, you have been approved for this money. And so look forward to it coming soon. There were some 1,400 applicants. And so I think we've gone through about 300, probably more than that. It was 300 last, probably close to 500. But anyway, I know they're looking to get everything out by the end of July. So all the money we got by July. And if you have gotten an email that said you're disqualified or you didn't qualify, that's probably because you didn't live in Fort Worth or your address is not in Fort Worth or you didn't meet some of the other criteria. Now, also note that if you are not in Fort Worth, but you're in Tarrant County, you can apply through Tarrant County. So if you're in Arlington or Everman, Keller, or someplace like that, Tarrant County, but not Fort Worth, you go through the county. Go online, look at economic development department. The same thing applies if you're in Dallas County or Plano, because the federal government sent COVID money to all of the counties and the city. So send it to the city if you're large enough. If you're not large enough, the money goes to the county and it's dispersed in those offices. Okay. And I think that's all that I have with regard to information that you need to know. And I'm happy to introduce to someone who's been here before. He comes with a wealth of knowledge. Today we're going to primarily, one of our major aspects today will be about the Small Business Administration and the way that they can help you now, even though this has been going on for a number of months. We are still in this COVID-19 situation. So I thought it was a good idea if we bring Mr. Rodney Johnson back. He is the director of the Tarrant County Small Business Development Center. So with that, I'm gonna hand it over to Rodney. Hello, Rodney. Can you hear us?
I can, and thank you for inviting me back and getting rid of this message here. Hopefully everyone is doing well during these COVID days. Excuse me. There's been as you know, this has been an ongoing process. It's been an ongoing challenge, and 2020 has just proven to be unpredictable all along, and it doesn't change when it comes down to the economy or to those of us who are in the small business or small business minded. Today, I just wanted to highlight just a couple of things. I'm just going to give a couple of updates, and then I want to talk primarily a little bit about a new change that kind of came out, and it impacts you if you received the PPP loan. So one of the things that I do want, before I get into that, I do want to tell you a little bit about what Daryl was just talking about the Tarrant grant and the reason Tarrant has a grant versus somebody else. But the way the process worked was that if you lived in a city, or if your city was greater than 500,000 in population, like Fort Worth was, then you received a specific CARES package from the government directly to take care of its citizens. If the city you lived in was less than 500,000, then funds was given to the county where that city resides. And the county would then figure out how it would disperse those funds. So that's why you would see a program for Fort Worth, but not necessarily a program for Arlington. Arlington has less than 500,000 citizens, and so does Euless and Everman and Southlake and everybody else outside of Fort Worth. So when you have less than the 500,000, your funds went directly to Tarrant County. Tarrant County ran a program that actually concluded yesterday at 6:00 p.m. In fact, it was supposed to end, I want to say last Wednesday, but they decided to expand it 3 more business days, which would have been Thursday, Friday, and Monday. And they concluded it on Monday. And that was for any citizen in Tarrant County, primarily outside of Fort Worth, because Fort Worth had its own allocation. That's not to say that you weren't eligible, but one of the beginning criteria was for you to be a Tarrant County resident, non-Fort Worth citizen. However, like I said, that's not to say that that's how that ended up. So hopefully you got your applications in. Hopefully you endured through the process. There were a number of questions. There was even a number of issues that came up along the way. But at the end of the day, the SBDC, Tarrant County, SCORE, City of Fort Worth, and a number of other resources ranging from the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber to the Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber to the Fort Worth Chamber to Grapevine, and the list goes on, all collaborated together to make sure that you, Mr. Small Business, you, Miss Small Business, you, Mrs. Small Business, all had access to resources that our government had made provisions for to help out through this economic time. So hopefully you got your piece of the pie. Before the Tarrant County pie was issued or was made available, there was these 2 terms that was kind of being bounced around. And you have, if you've not heard of them, then you may not understand the full efforts behind them. But there were 2 programs. There was what's called the EIDL or EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loan, and which is an interesting concept in and of itself. And I'll explain that in just a second. And then the other one was PPP, Paycheck Protection Program. EIDL, I want to go back and I want to define EIDL for anyone who has not done this calculation and have not made the application for an EIDL loan. Then you may be missing out on some significant revenue that could really make the difference in whether your business survives or whether it is going to endure hardships at the level that it is. EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loan. What that really is saying is that if you have a business and your business was economically impacted as a result of the COVID-19 or the coronavirus, I'll give you an example. If you have a, what we call brick and mortar, if you have a store front, and because of shelter in place, customers were not allowed to continue to cater to your business. And that was the sole reason, or one of the primary reasons why your business did not do well. then that is by definition economic injury. If you have a business that you could not continue to sustain the workforce because of COVID-19 or because of the decrease in sales, because people weren't allowed to go out and do shopping or whatever. If COVID-19 or coronavirus was at the root cause of that, then you have been, quote unquote, economically injured. Economically injured just means that your money's changed because of circumstances beyond your control. Your economy, your personal economy was altered because of this virus and the scenario. So the government set aside billions of dollars. From an EIDL standpoint, almost a total of $110, $115 billion just for small businesses, just for that particular purpose. And by the way, it is not too late to apply for funding for the EIDL. There's only one way to apply. You must go to the SBA website. And upon getting to the SBA website, then you can find your way to, and that's sba.gov, you can find your way to the EIDL application. Once you go through, fill out that application, the process is about 15 minutes. You're going to answer some questions relative to your business, relative to your finances. Please go through that process, because at the end of the day, only one of two things are going to happen. They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. The philosophy that I've always encouraged our clients to go by is to let them tell you no. Do not tell yourself no. And you tell yourself no if you choose not to apply. For whatever reason, you choose not to apply. Then you're telling yourself no. At the back end of that application is a question about, are you interested in the EIDL grant? And if you respond yes to that, then you'll be given additional considerations for a grant that would give you $1,000 per employee up to 10 employees. So do yourself a favor. Fill out the application. The second thing that you've heard that's been going on is called PPP, Paycheck Protection Program. Paycheck Protection Program at its very core is about protecting the employees that you employ. How do you protect them? You protect them through their paycheck. People who are paid have a tendency to have more loyalty to you. They have a tendency to show back up the next week, if they've been paid and properly compensated. So the focus for PPP is to make sure that the paychecks are continuing to go, are continuing to flow during this quote unquote coronavirus or COVID-19 season. Now, the funds are not indefinite and the funds are not guaranteed, but it is intended to be a blessing to those companies who take the time to do that. Now, how do you apply for PPP? You can only apply for PPP by going through one of the approved lenders from the Small Business Administration or from the U.S. Treasury Department, who is overseeing part of this program. Now, they have issued, I want to say almost, 600, I'm just going to use a round number of $600 billion for the PPP program. This program is structured under an older program that's been around for a long time called 7A program. 7A is traditionally a program that allows businesses to grow. So if you wanted to expand your business, if you wanted to go and get the funding to grow your business, or to go buy another business, or to buy a building, or to buy property, or to lease equipment, or to buy equipment, and you needed an SBA loan so that you can go and literally grow your business, you normally would do that under a program or called 7A program. So the PPP program is a derivative of 7A. It's all under that same 7A structure. and it's even structured similar to that. So when they came out with the PPP program, you could only get that program if you went through an approved lender, be it Bank of America, Wells Fargo, PeopleSoft, or Simmons Bank, or any other. And there were a number of lenders that were added, eventually added, and in some cases late to the game, but eventually added to the list of approved vendors. But if you were able to find that lender who would sit down, accept your application, walk you through the process, submit your completed documents up through the SBA lender portal into the SBA for them to approve it, and then for the SBA to review it and then come back with a determination as to whether or not you were approved, then you can count yourself among those who really was given a handout. Along with the program came an opportunity, which I'm getting to, which is really the crux of the conversation today. Along with the program came the opportunity that if you spent 75% of this loan that they were going to give you on payroll and payroll related items, then that particular portion could be forgiven. There was a lot of feedback that Congress received, that the government received, that the SBA received, that the U.S. Treasury received, that said that the high ceiling of 75% purely on payroll costs, and particularly within the 8-week window, was very, very difficult to accomplish, and therefore almost but guaranteeing a certain portion of those funds would roll over into a loan. So the government, who was listening, did come back, and they came back with some revisions. And one of the revisions that they came back with was called the forgiveness program. And so that's what I'm here. I'm here to just kind of highlight. I don't have every answer to every question. I don't have every detail pertaining to it, but I can tell you that the government signed into law a interim final rule, and I think it was processed on June the 22nd. So a little over 2 weeks ago, two and a half weeks ago, they put out there the forgiveness loan program. And I want to highlight just some of the facts associated with it. So forgive me if I'm reading this, but that's just in the effort to get it right and not necessarily get it wrong, or not. I'm not going to look very fluid, but it's more important to get this information right than it is to look very, very smooth. So what this program in a nutshell is saying is that lenders has 60 days from receipt of completing the application to issue a decision to the SBA. And so if whoever you applied with to get your PPP loan, that's who you go back through to file your application for the forgiveness program. The lenders are still in the driver's seat as far as the PPP loan, which there are still billions of dollars available. And then they're also in the driver's seat as far as PPP loan forgiveness and whether or not your application meets the threshold for loan forgiveness. Once you make your application, they'll have 60 days from the receipt of that application to tell the SBA what their decision is. Keywords, what their decision is. The decision is up to the lender as to whether or not you qualify for PPP loan forgiveness. The lender must request payment if it is approved, and if the recommendation is that they accept your forgiveness because you've met all of the rules, the regulations, the requirements, then they must make an application to the SBA for the SBA to pay them, for your loan forgiveness. Okay, so the lender must request payment from SBA at the time the lender issues a decision. The SBA will, subject to any SBA review of the loan or loan application, remit the forgiveness amount to the lender. So basically, they're saying that the SBA will pay the lender. Okay, if applicable, the SBA will deduct EIDL advance amounts for the forgiveness amount remitted to the lender as required by section 1110. So what that says is that when you're going through and you're doing your application for PPP, then EIDL, portions of the EIDL can qualify to go into that to that program. If it does not, if it does go into that program, then the lender must include that in the application for loan forgiveness, okay? And typically, that's gonna be the grant portion, the up to $10,000, okay? The lender is responsible for notifying the borrower of the forgiveness amount and the date on which the borrower's first payment is due. So if there is approval, and if it is a partial approval, then the lender must let the borrower know when the repayment begins. Remember, at the beginning of all of this, there was a whole lot of deferrals. We're going to defer this for 6 months, or if you're brand new 7A, we're going to defer it for 6 months. We might even defer it up to a year. Under the loan forgiveness portion, the lender will tell you when you must start to repay the loan, okay? If the SBA determines that the entire loan is eligible for forgiveness, of which it could be, and I'll tell you one of the ways that it could be, if they determine that the entire loan is eligible for forgiveness and remits the full amount of the loan to the lender must mark the PPP loan notes as quote unquote paid in full. So let me give you a hypothetical. Say for instance, you received a $200,000 PPP loan and for your business. And say for instance, over that 8-week period of time, you were able to spend the $200,000 purely on payroll. And by the way, on payroll, that could be everything from paychecks to anything payroll related, from health and insurance, unemployment insurance, so forth and so on. And there's a list out there of those things that would be eligible. And so if by chance during those 8 weeks, you were able to get your $200,000 PPP loan spent on payroll related items, then you qualify for 100% loan forgiveness. And that is very, very critical, very, very critical, okay? But if you're eligible, then they're gonna mark your note paid in full, and therefore you don't owe anything. It won't roll forward into a term loan. So the borrower must submit a loan forgiveness application anytime on or before the maturity date of the loan, including before the end of the covered period, if the borrower has used all of the loan proceeds for which the borrower was requesting forgiveness. All it's saying is that when you made your PPP loan, you told them exactly how you were going to spend that money. And if that is exactly how you spent that money, and you spent all of the money that they had allocated for you for that, then once you provide the proof of that, then it will definitely be forgiven. Okay. So there are a number of other details that are out there. I will highlight just a couple of them. One of them is that the application date for PPP, it did pass, but within about 24 or 48 hours, Congress came back and extended it. And so you're still eligible to go and apply. You're still eligible to go and apply for a PPP loan through August the 8th of this year. So you have about 1 month. The PPP loan is still available for 1 month. I would also tell you and share with you that the EIDL, which it did not come back online at the same time that when the PPP was reallocated or rebudgeted or was supplied with funding. But you can still go and apply for EIDL. There are still millions of dollars available In fact, I could easily say billions of dollars available for both EIDL and billions of dollars available for the PPP. So I want to encourage you to do that. If you've already submitted your application, you're not sure what the status of your application is, let me encourage you. I want to give you a call center phone number. And that phone number, and I'm going to say it a couple of times, so hopefully you have something to take a note. But the phone number, 800 phone number for the SBA, who are the people who can answer questions about the EIDL and the status of your loan. And if you have questions about your PPP, then you can go directly to your lending source, your bank, and get that information. But for the SBA, you can call 833-572-0502. 833-572-0502. And one last time, 833-572-0502. Okay. Daryl, that is the highlights in pretty much a nutshell. I would say that one other key factor is that the threshold for forgiveness was dropped from 75% threshold down to 60% threshold. And so therefore they lowered that bar. I will tell you, it is not automatic. You do need to go and apply. And it also went from a 8-week, if I'm not mistaken, I think out to 24 weeks. So I think that it's certainly worth looking at. And I think that those of you who are fortunate enough to get the PPP loan should be talking to your lenders, should be talking to your accountants, should be talking to your bankers, or perhaps even talking to your lawyers. Or if you want, please, you're welcome to come and talk to our team at the Small Business Development Center. And we'll be more than happy to meet with you virtually to discuss what your situation is. In addition to that, I think that you would be very wise to make sure that that you understand all of the pros and cons of applying for forgiveness. And there are some benefits to applying for forgiveness. But if you've already met the threshold, then don't apply for forgiveness. But if you've not met the threshold, then buy yourself some time, because the threshold has been extended, and buy yourself some leniency because the floor has been dropped from 75% qualifications, or 75% of your total loan being spent on payroll, down to 60%. So there are a lot of things that I think that goes into this. It can be complicated. I hope I've not made it, overly complicated, but I do want to encourage you to seek advice from those of you whom you trust with your business and your business finances, and to help make the right decision. And know this here, that after you make the decision with your bank or lending institution, you're not going to get an instant answer. They have up to 60 days to evaluate your application to see whether or not it qualifies for loan forgiveness. And so I would encourage you to have those conversations. Daryl, let me turn it back over to you to see if there are any questions that I might be able to help.
You're muted, Daryl.
Thank you, Denise. All right, Rodney, thank you. As usual, you hit every point. I want you to give out the FWMBCC information contact.
Oh, okay. Sure. Let me go ahead and give them just a small plug. First plug, very important. We're literally located across the hall from Daryl. So
don't go knocking on the door like I did yesterday, though.
So, but if you go there, you'll be disappointed because we're literally not there right now. But what we want to make sure that you have the information of, if you want to get in contact with us, we can be easily found at Tarrant SBDC, which stands for Small Business Development Center, the Tarrant SBDC .org. Now, around Tarrant County, we actually have 5 permanent locations and 2 temporary locations. We are located off of South Freeway. We're also located in North Richland Hills. We have a center that is located at the Arlington Chamber of Commerce. We have a center that's located at University of Texas at Arlington. And we also have our newest center, which is located in East Fort Worth at the Opportunity Center. That's our brand newest center. And we have some temporary locations in the city of South Lake and the city of Grapevine. So please reach out to us at 817-515-2603. And you can receive further information as to how to get in contact with us. Our services are at no charge. We don't like to say that our services are free, but we're not going to charge you for our services. And there's a reason for that, and that is because, yes, the Small Business Administration wants to make sure that every small business have access to the resources that they need. So they provide us resources to provide you resources. So again, TarrantSBDC.org, phone number 817-515-2603. And by all means, give us a call. We'd love to help. We're in business to help you. And we can be found around Tarrant County.
Awesome. Thank you, Rodney. And I just want to note for those people in Stop 6, when Rodney says the Opportunity Center, that means it's right next door to Dunbar High School. And so it's right there in the hood. It's easily to get to. You get to it by bus, and et cetera. So just so that you know, you can set up an appointment and they will help you with what you need with regard to the EIDL, the PPP. They also have other services such as helping you with your business plan. I recommend clients there all the time. We work together. So they're a great resource, and take advantage of it, because of course it doesn't cost you anything. That's one of the best things, and there's excellent information. So Rodney, I have a couple of clarifications, and I think you really kind of got to it at the end there, but I remember you saying that the loan could be forgiven based upon your original plan with the bank. And then I heard you say that the threshold for it has been reduced from 75% to 60% payroll, because other parts obviously could be other expenses like rent, et cetera.
Exactly.
So can you is 60% the lowest, or it might depend on the plan that you originally started?
Well, it's not yet. Well, 60% is the lowest to get 100% forgiveness. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
But if you drop, if say for instance you did not fulfill the whole 60%, then it would be the one word to kind of come into mind, prorated, if you will.
Sure, I got you.
But it's not an all or none. But once you apply for the extended, what I call forgiveness 2.0, once you apply for forgiveness 2.0, then it really does come into a different set of rules. There are different forms that must be filled out. There's a different level of scrutiny that is involved. But again, if it's the right business move for your business, then it's worth going through everything it takes in order to get your loan forgiven, or portions of your loan forgiven.
Awesome. And so, and the new deadline for filing the PPP is August the 8th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So people, go get potentially free money. The worst thing they can do is tell you no. So go out and apply. That is the payroll protection program. Now, did you give us do we have a deadline on the EIDL program?
I don't. I've forgotten. I'm drawing a blank. But what I do know is that the EIDL loan is available today. And I think that anybody who's seriously considering it need to consider it sooner rather than later. I think that it's something that you need to move upon, because eventually both of these products are going to shut down. And unfortunately, I apologize, Daryl, I don't remember that the termination date for the EIDL, but I don't believe that anyone should waver too long before they decide to just to go for it. And like you said, and like I said earlier, let them tell you no, as opposed to you telling yourself no by not even applying.
Excellent. And obviously, anyone who's listening, they can go to sba.gov, and usually those types of things are right there in big letters for anyone to see, or certainly the EIDL, they'll let you know. So there's no hidden things, no hidden information right there for you to see. So I'm going to go over to my cohort, Denise, and ask if there are any questions from Facebook.
Yes, so we have two. Connie Bennett asked, if you do not receive forgiveness, what happens to the balance of the loan?
Well, if you don't receive forgiveness, it turns into a loan. It turns into a loan at it used to be 2%. Now, I'm sorry, it used to be 2 years, but now it is 5 years. So it turns into a traditional loan with a very low interest rate.
Yeah, Denise, I think I heard, if I remember correctly, back when it was like 3 or 4%.
It's
depending.
3%.
Okay. So, and then again, Connie, if you should get at least a portion of it forgiven if you did the right thing. A good portion should be forgiven, so that the balance of it would be a loan, and the deferred amount when you start on that would be determined based upon the bank, if I'm understanding right and correct, right?
That is correct. They can help you with the calculations. Here is the thing, though. You need to make sure that if you got a PPP loan, or even if you got the EIDL loan, say for instance, you got the up to $150,000 EIDL loan, this is government funding. So you should keep meticulous notes. You should keep very good notes about how you spent those funds. And you should ensure, particularly for the PPP, if you want the forgiveness, that you have very good records that show how you spent that money. And that's how you get that's how you reduce any questions about the forgiveness portion. Now, for EIDL, you can use funds for everything from working capital to paying leases to, buying equipment to doing whatever. And there's not the same stipulations on the EIDL as it is on the PPP. But again, government funds are government funds, and anyone can reserve the right to come in and say, how did you spend these funds? And what they're looking for is to make sure that if you're not in the vacation business, that you didn't go out and take a vacation, or that you didn't go out, and buy an alpaca farm if you're not in the farming business, right? So they're looking to make sure that you did some due diligence. And there will be, some people who will be audited to make sure that there was compliance. But handle your business. As small businesses, handle your business so that you don't draw the attention, of the wrong group of people.
Awesome. Denise, any more questions?
We have a couple more. We have two more from the same person, Tirza Lynette on Facebook Live. First question they have is, do you need to have employees to qualify for the EIDL?
No, sole proprietors are eligible for both the EIDL and the PPP. So sole proprietors can apply.
Wonderful. And their next question is, do you need to have good credit to qualify for PPP?
There is a floor. The floor, and the government, the SBA has never come out and stated publicly, nor will you find it on their website, what that floor is. But the program was designed in such a way as to and this is a quote, to where 94% of all businesses would qualify based off of the credit score. So if by some chance, you apply, and providing you're not in the 100s, 200s, or maybe even the 300s category, then there stands a reasonable chance that you would be eligible.
Great. So that's all the questions that I have from my end.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I don't have any more questions either. So, Rodney, if you'd like to wrap up your portion, any other things that you want to say?
Yeah, I do. And this is some of the latest thinking and some of the latest advice that I've been trying to offer those whom I've offered, some counseling to, and it is what it's worth. But one of the things that we don't know, and that is our future. And so therefore, when we think about what our economy is going to look like, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, I think that it behooves us all to become diligent. I think that, it behooves us all to understand that cash is king. And so if you can start to take the precision measurements that are needed in order to help your business become stronger, and to improve your cash and your cash flow and your cash management, then you should do that. We're unsure of how our economy is going to turn out, but one thing that a business that has resources, that have funds, stand a more significant chance of survival than a business who is strapped. The one thing that'll put somebody out of business faster than anything is when you run out of money. So if you need money, there's money out there. Tarrant County had some money, Fort Worth had some money, the government still has money, and there will be other resources to come along the way. This is an environment where everybody has a vested interest to get our economy back up and running, which is why you'll see the Facebooks and the Googles and all of those other large name players contributing into the economy. So get what you can get, right? But manage what you have, because we don't know what tomorrow's going to be. But the one who has money, has cash, has dollars in the bank or in their pocket is the one that'll survive another day.
Awesome. Well, Rodney, I appreciate you so much for taking the time out and, just laying things out so directly and clearly regarding what's going on with the SBA and how we can help people. So thank you again. I appreciate you. And
always a pleasure.
All right. Now, Denise, so I just want to give everybody my contact information, and that is I'm Daryl Brewer. I'm the Economic Development Manager here at the Fort Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce. My email address is dbrewer@fwmbcc.org. My phone number is 817-871-6558. 817-871-6558. Be happy to answer any questions that you have or connect you with information that you might need with regard to the PPP, SBA, Rodney, or other resources we have here in the back. We do one-on-one business counseling. If you're interested in starting a business, we can help you and talk to you about that. If you're at a certain place, you want to move to a higher level, we can help you get contracts with the city of Fort Worth and other entities throughout the DFW. So we are here to support you and to help you, and we just look forward to talking to you soon. And with that, I'm gonna hand it back to my cohort, Denise.
Thank you, Daryl. All right, so I want to thank you all for joining us again today for our weekly webinar, The State of Your Business. We have an upcoming event, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and show you our event on Facebook. Give me 1 second. So if you're interested in joining us on Saturday, July 18th at 10 a.m., we're going to have our Women's Summer book discussion. The book that we're going to be discussing will be The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It'll be facilitated by Ebony Rose, who is a senior learning and development consultant at TCU. It's from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So you're able to register for this event and get that. It'll be through Zoom. It's a virtual event. So check us out. It's going to be a great discussion. This book is amazing. If you haven't already picked it up, you definitely have time to go get it before this book discussion. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and just say goodbye. Thank y'all again for joining us, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Yeah.
Mask.
The masks, yes. Make sure that you're wearing your masks because it's now required through all of Texas. And we're actually going to be having a second distribution of masks for businesses. We had the first distribution last week, I want to say. We're doing another rollout for that. So once we confirm all the information, we'll make sure to send that out to you all on the date and times and all that. Only thing we ask is if you already participated in the first wave to let other businesses get masks the second time. We don't want to do duplicate businesses. So if you already got your masks the first time around, we just ask you to make sure to let other people have this opportunity as well.
Don't be greedy.
Huh?
Tell them, don't be greedy.
Don't be greedy, y'all, for sure. Let other people get these. These are mandated and they need them for their businesses and to protect their employees and their customers. So thank y'all so much and we'll see y'all next week. Thanks, Rodney.
Thank you, and thank you.
Bye.
Y'all have a great one.
Bye.